morning, BadBoyHalo.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Did you just say thank you with the voice of someone still in bed at 5 p.m.?
Hi.
Do you want to do the show, yes or no?
After my nap.
What do you mean after your nap? You just woke up. I'm giving you the time of the introduction to get ready, and that's it. The weirdest talk show, where we talk about... What do we talk about again? Oh yeah, we choose a subject, but we don't choose the position we're gonna debate. The weirdest talk show. Almost every Thursday, but most of the time on other days at 5 p.m. EST on Only Hit.
Yay! What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a good day so far. I'm sure a lot of you guys are staying home, maybe due to some, we won't even talk about it. We're going to steer far from that topic. Okay. But we do have a spicy topic for you guys today. Are you ready? We want to pick one that was going to be relevant. Okay. So it's going to be interesting. All right. And I just want to start off by saying if you've never attended a debate show, here's the gist of it, okay? Is we have two people and we pick a topic and we randomly decide who's in favor of that topic and who's opposed, okay? And today we have a very spicy topic. Pandas is Sapnap is our special guest today. Do you want to say hello?
Hello.
Hi. But anyway, so I'm sure some of you I'm sure some of you guys are probably guessing our topic is probably going to be interesting. Should I just tell them what it's going to be? I'll just tell them.
At some point, you're going to have to anyways.
All right. True. We have a very spicy one today. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Number one. It is it is going to be, should schools close for the coronavirus?
Dun, dun,
Bum, bum, bum. So yes,
that was the subject we wanted to be like really rough and not being. Yeah, we didn't want to talk about it, so we're not going to talk about it. We're going to talk about like how school.
So there we go. Now, here's the thing. Before we start, I just want to keep in mind that one of us is going to have to defend that no school should not be closed. And a lot of people are sitting here going, "What? But I love it when school is closed. This is great. Early vacation." Here's the thing you need to keep in mind. Remember, do not vote solely based upon whether or not you want school to be closed, okay? Vote for who you think defends the argument the best. You guys have a habit sometimes of just voting on what you personally want to see happen. Okay, remember, we randomly decide who's in favor of what, okay?
And we earlier decided that Bad will be saying that schools should not be closed.
We have not decided anything. Here we go. Do you want? I will defend that position.
Okay, then you defend that position.
All right, so you're defending that schools should be closed. All right, here we go. All right, let's begin. I guess we're not randomly deciding. He just wants to pick it. Okay. All right, guys, ready? So again, how this works, we each are going to decide. It's not necessarily what we actually believe. We're just defending it. Anything we say is not necessarily our actual opinion. It's just for the show. All right, guys, ready? Here we go. Boom. Let's get this ball rolling. Do you want to start first, Pandas, or should I?
I'll go ahead and start.
Okay, so, let's do our best not to interrupt each other today, okay?
Yeah, no, you've really struggled with that in the past, but
I have, of course. Go ahead.
Schools should be closed for the coronavirus, guys. The coronavirus is a rampant flu-like virus that is going around, spreading very quickly. Now, I feel like one of Bad's biggest ideas for debate. He's going to say that, well, it's just a little bit stronger than the flu. The issue with the coronavirus is that it's very infectious, meaning that it spreads very, very easily. Recently the NBA has closed because, for one, it's not safe for people to be around, but other players have been even getting the coronavirus. And, that's a pretty big thing because, usually a lot of these sports places closed before their players get infected. But, you know, the NBA has already had their players get infected, which, you know, is pretty crazy in my opinion. So I think it's very clear that for the safety of everyone, you know, all these kids, because, you know, coronavirus, you know, a lot of the things that they talk about is it's very risky if someone who's younger or in their immune system isn't built up, like children, for example, or elderly, have a higher chance of actually, you know, dying from the sickness. So I think it's very important that we close our schools specifically in order to prevent young children from dying from the coronavirus or just getting sick in general from the coronavirus.
Okay. Thank you, Pandas. My turn. All right, guys.
Yes, sir. It is your turn.
So, here's the deal. Okay, people are trying to make the coronavirus out like it is a total nightmare. Like everything's going wrong, and this is literally the worst thing to have ever happened to mankind. And that is totally not what it is. People are overblowing the hype. Okay, they're totally exaggerating. Half the people who are talking about the subject have no clue what they're talking about. They wouldn't know a coronavirus from a Corona beer, okay? And that's been proven by the fact that Corona stock is tanking, partially because people can't tell the difference, okay? In general, people are pretty dumb, okay? And this idea that we should be promoting that stupidity by taking kids out of school, how is this a good idea? If anything, we should be keeping kids in school, educating them. We need to protect the brain cells that these kids have, okay? Not reinforce the stupidity with fear, okay? Okay, yes, all stocks have been tanking, but the Corona beer has been tanking even harder. They've been having a bad couple of weeks. But the point is, guys, is at the end of the day, okay, I will explain to you how this coronavirus, A, is being completely overblown, and people will see that in a couple months, and B, that we should keep kids in schools for their own betterment, and the fact that keeping them in schools isn't really going to be that much worse than keeping them at home. That's my thoughts. All right. Now we're getting into the meaty portion of the debate where Pandas and I are going to go back and forth. Sorry, Sapnap and I will go back and forth, and we're just going to debate off the wall. Are you ready, Pandas?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it then.
All right.
All right. So why do you want to prevent kids from getting an education?
I do not want to prevent kids from getting an education.
You want to pull them out of school?
Yeah, I want to pull them out of physically going to school. I think there's better options right now to keep them safe, such as having a lot of their lessons be online, like my school is doing, for example.
Yeah, no, that'd be great.
Yeah, it would be great.
Online would be great.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. You gonna elaborate?
I think doing some online classes would be fine. I don't see.
So you're saying it's a good idea to pull kids out and allow them to go to online for now while the virus is running rampant?
I think kids that are at risk of getting sick or ill from the coronavirus and dying from it, I would pull those. Those that are immunocompromised, I would pull out. Aside from that, keep them in school, because at the end of the day, one, the best solution is quarantining certain areas, not necessarily quarantining and just taking kids out of school and keeping them away from the crowd. The point is, people are going to still have to work, right? Mm-hmm. So people are still going to go to work. They're still going to be exposed to the coronavirus. They're still going to be spreading it around, right? And they're still going to be bringing it home and exposing it to their kids. The kids are the lowest risk of getting sick and dying from the coronavirus. Okay?
Exactly.
Over 80% of the people who get sick show zero symptoms whatsoever. Okay? Most of the people who even get it don't even know they have it. Okay?
Okay,
meaning that the people who get it and know they have it, the 20% of people who have it and are showing symptoms, okay, those people are in the age range of the kids at school, are not even at risk of dying. They're very, very, very low in terms of their death rate. And most of them who will be infected are going to be people who will have their immune system will be compromised in some way. So why are we taking those kids and just taking all kids home and putting them at risk anyway? The point is, and putting their education at risk, okay?
Okay, listen. You said that they're going to get it anyways because their parents are going to bring it home. It's just ridiculous. So the point is of you taking them out of school is to remove probably their biggest threat of getting it. They're more likely to get it at school than there are, because that's one person's going to bring it home, their parents. Whereas at school, they're in contact with hundreds of kids a day that, they walk past, they talk to, they come in contact in any which form or manner. So the difference between the chances of your parent bringing it home, which is one person, versus anyone at your school, which can be upwards to like a couple thousand kids at your school, it's not even close on like statistically where you're more likely to get it. So we need to take those kids out, especially the younger elementary school kids, ones that are really, if they get it, they're in trouble. Especially to pull them out of school.
You're totally misrepresenting that. This is not true.
Well, it is true.
No kids so far, I believe, under the age of 10, or if not, maybe like 1, but none have died from it. Okay?
Not
because
yet.
The younger
That's
you
why
are,
we're pulling them out.
the better your chance. You know what your odds of dying based on the current data is? If you're under 40, it's a 0.2% chance. Okay? 0.2% chance. That is a 1 in 500 chance. Okay? That is substantially low. And most of those people under 40 who died had some other issue that was affecting their immune system. So this idea that kids are somehow more at risk or are most vulnerable is totally backwards. That's miscorrect. You just said something blatantly false. Do you even know what the coronavirus is? It has nothing to do with beer, by the way, just for the record.
Really? I didn't know. Well, listen.
I'm going to bring this up again. Anyone who thinks it's 0.4 has no clue what they're talking about. It's 0.2% chance of dying if you're under 40, okay? Anyone who thinks otherwise doesn't know what they're talking about. I've literally read article after article. I literally know everything I'm throwing at you. I know what I'm talking about. Go ahead. No, anyone who says I'm wrong, I will literally point you at the data, okay? The country that has done the most testing on this is South Korea. They've tested over 140,000 people. They have the best sample size. They're best comparable to Western countries like the United States, okay? Their percentage is the number of people they've tested. They have a 0.6% death rate over their entire population. 80% of the people who get it don't show any symptoms. 20% of the people do. Okay, I know what I'm talking about. This fatty does not. And anyone in the chat who thinks they know what they talk about has no clue.
Do you guys want to hear what I found? Here's bad. So, according to the statistics from Africa, South Africa, I know that 0.0459876% people who contract coronavirus also smell like cheese, and I know that because the CDC told me 5.7 years ago that you're just spitting random facts that nobody cares about. 40
have an average 0.2 death rate. If you're above 70, okay, you have something like a 0.15 or like a 15% chance of dying, okay?
Well, listen, meaning you're just
the older you are. I'm not jumping over the point.
Just because you don't die from something.
Wouldn't the better solution be to take all of the old people and put them together and say, hey, you guys are going to be kept away from everyone else?
Listen, oh my God, you're just screaming.
I am listening, go ahead.
You're just being a moron today, my God. Listen, just because you're not going to die from something does not mean that we should not avoid it. Now, I feel like I should tell you a very grotesque example of this, but of something that, you don't want to come in contact with.
Whoa, hold on. Yes. Just because you're not going to die from it means that, if anything, it doesn't matter if you're exposed to it. It's like
what? Okay, just because I'm not going to die, just because you're not going to die from this, I'm going to stab you in the stomach with a knife. But you're not going to die.
That is completely misrepresenting.
Listen, we'll have a medical team right nearby.
Permanent harm to somebody. We're talking about somebody getting a light cold is what it's going to be for most students.
Oh my God.
Stop misrepresenting my arguments.
You are misrepresenting yourself.
No, you're misrepresenting my argument.
Is a light cold. 2020.
It literally is.
Okay, how long are you gonna do the know you thing for?
What?
Anyway, the point is, we shouldn't be canceling school. Take all of the elderly and keep them away from all of everybody else. That's what we should be doing. Okay? And studies show that people if everybody was just wearing a face mask, that would go a long way to help minimize the spread of the virus. Face masks don't stop or make it harder for you to get the virus, But if you are sick, they make it more less likely that you will give the virus to other people.
Okay.
Okay.
So instead, instead of keeping our young children home and having them do online classes, very simple idea. Just keep them home for an extra week or two.
Okay, how are you going to do online classes?
Everyone, let's just have gas masks and let's go to school like it's like
how are you going to do online? No, answer me that. How are you going to do online classes for schools that haven't set up online courses yet? How are you going to do those online classes?
Most schools have online courses.
No, that's not true. There's a bunch of schools that do not have online curriculum set up. No, that's incorrect.
It doesn't necessarily have to be online curriculum. You can just send them home with a packet of paper and be like, hey, you need to, you have papers that they read and they learn from that, and then they do worksheets and stuff. It doesn't have to be online. Just take home.
One, most elementary schools do not have online curriculums. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. Two, most middle schools don't have online curriculums. So most of the schools that would have online curriculums would be high schools. So what? You're just condemning middle schools and elementary school students to, guess you're on pause.
No, I just said
another aspect of this you're missing,
hold on, listen, let me say something.
Go ahead.
Continue. I literally just said that you can give them a take-home curriculum where they have articles to read, stuff like that, stuff that can be fun. You can include their parents in it, whatever. Just has to be take-home. It doesn't have to be online. And how long are you going to
keep them at home for?
Whatever the CDC or whatever.
Do you expect schools to just have on hand several months worth of curriculum to just give to all the students?
It's not going to be
and say, hey, do all this while you're at home. It's not
going to be several months, and you know that.
Several months. It's going to be at least a month. Let's just say it's a month.
Really?
Okay,
my school right now is just a week.
A week? You just told me earlier that another week. So you far had 1 week.
Spring break is what I'm on right now, and then they're adding another week of spring break. So I said another week. So they've only added a week that I wouldn't have been in class.
Okay, so what happens when you've been at home for 3 more weeks? And guess what? Please explain, Pandas. Did your school give you the curriculum for the week, or are you taking online classes?
I mean, they could have done.
But did they?
They did.
They did?
Well, a lot of my teachers foresaw this, and they did, actually.
Okay. Are you taking online classes?
Huh? Well, some of it is online. Some of it is some packets that I have to do.
And are you in high school, middle school, elementary school, or college?
I'm in elementary school.
You're an flipping liar. Anyway, the point is, okay, one, it's going to be incredibly boring at home for most of these kids, not being able to go to school. Okay?
Well, I don't care if it's boring for them, if it's protecting them from getting...
It's going to suck.
The coronavirus is a pandemic. You do know that, right? It was literally brought to a pandemic.
By the World Health Organization that is unpaid for by China. I don't care what the World Health Organization says.
Hey, my kids are going to be bored at home. Okay, well, let's just have them be exposed to a freaking pandemic.
A pandemic.
Oh, my God.
Admit it. You don't know what the difference between a pandemic and a pandemic
I don't think you know what the difference between the coronavirus and a cold is, like you were saying earlier. It's just a little stronger than a cold.
Then explain to me what the coronavirus is.
Well, first of all,
why is it called the coronavirus? What does corona mean?
What does corona mean? Obviously, corona is just a beer.
No, corona means crown. The reason it's called the coronavirus is because it looks like it has a bunch of little crowns on it.
Yeah.
Okay? It looks like it's wearing a crown.
Yeah.
Okay? So, do you know how the coronavirus interacts with the cell?
Yeah, I read it somewhere.
Okay, explain it to me then.
Okay, hold on, let me Google it real quick.
Let me Google it. I will explain it to you. What it does is it comes on. The reason why the coronavirus can infect us is because what it does is it comes onto your cells.
It jumps on your cells, it hijacks it like every other virus out there, and it takes over your cell and it uses your cell to reproduce, and then it has more viruses and they all go out. Like every single virus ever known to mankind. Congrats.
You said that. You know how to use Google. Good job.
I didn't know. I didn't use Google. It's just taking biology or taking any class, just knowing how a virus works. Like every single virus, it finds the cells, it goes in the cell, it makes the cell reproductive, making more viruses, and then it kills the cell, and then it has more viruses, and they keep going, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. It's, what's your point?
Are you done?
What's your point, though?
Why is it called the coronavirus?
What's your point? Why is it called the coronavirus? Why is it called the coronavirus? Why?
It's not called the coronavirus. Coronavirus is a type of virus. which is what the flu viruses are.
He got me good, guys.
Look, I'm not trying to get into a knowledge competition. I'm just explaining how you really don't have as much knowledge about this as you think you should, or as you think you do.
Okay, what's your point?
So if you're trying to quote like pandemic definitions and things like that, which a pandemic, by the way, is just a definition assigned to something when the World Health Organization goes and says, hey, guys,
this is really bad.
Believe this. No, it's not that it's really bad. They're saying that we believe this has spread out. The only difference between a pandemic and an epidemic is that they're saying that it has spread out to the point where it's uncontainable. That's the only difference there.
So the coronavirus is uncontainable, and we're going to send our kids to class where they're going to come in contact with hundreds or thousands of other kids when I can keep them at home and keep them safe.
If your whole argument is that it's
exactly.
No, if your whole argument is that it's a pandemic, then guess what? It's already going to spread out. Everybody is going to get it. Okay? The odds of you and me getting it are almost 100%. Okay?
Really?
The question 100%. Is a matter of when we're going to get it. Okay. My point is, if you're going with this mindset of we got to keep the kids safe, you don't know how long you're going to have to keep kids out of school for. What if this goes on for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months? You're just going to have all of the kids push. Hey, guys, you're not going to get to graduate for an extra year. Hope you enjoy graduating when you're 19 or 20. Good luck with that.
Well, bad. If this goes on for another 5 months, 6 months, whatever months, I think we're going to have some bigger problems on our hands. Don't you?
Yeah, exactly. So you on top, because you don't know how long this is going to go on for, we could literally see everything just go on pause for like a year. Is that what we want? We just want to put everything on pause for a year, which is the estimated time it's going to take before they'll be able to get a vaccine out and ready and given to people. That's what you're talking about. Okay? My whole point is, A, the virus is not as serious. No, the virus is not as serious as people are making it out to be. Number one, especially to people under 40.
Listen. So what is it? You're switching sides, swapping all the time.
You're the one.
Listen. Let me talk. I said you talk for freaking 5 minutes at a time. My God, Mr. Halo, you are uncontained today.
Go ahead. Come on.
Which is it? Is the virus either underrated, like you said, or is it going to keep us out of school for months at a time? You're just like saying this and that, whatever is helping your argument the best. You need to pick one and stick to one, because I'm tired of you switching sides all the time. It's like ridiculous.
If you were paying attention at all, you would know that whenever it seems like I switch side, I'm pointing out how dumb your argument is. Okay? I'm not defending it. Okay? When I go and say, hey, it's bad, I'm taking your position because you're saying it's so bad we need to pull kids out of school for. Okay, so I'm saying if it's that bad, then you're saying you have no clue how long we're going to have to pull kids out of school for. Okay, you don't know if it's going to be a month or a year. Okay, so if we really are going to shut down schools for a whole year, we need to acknowledge what the ramifications of that are. But you don't know that. You're saying it's so bad you're saying it's so bad we shouldn't send kids to school. So when do we send kids to school? Answer me that. When are we going to send kids back to school?
Whenever the government agencies deem it fine.
Okay, when do you think that would be a good time to do that?
I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Whenever it's more contained, whenever we know more about it. Whatever.
Okay, when? So just when we know more about the virus, we know about as much as we're going to learn from it. The only way we can improve upon our knowledge is by developing a vaccine and better treatments for it.
Okay,
so when are we going to say, hey, kids, it's okay to go back to school?
Whenever.
Because the virus is here. It's with us. Okay, do you know what the H1N1 virus is?
Swine flu.
Yes. Do you remember about the pandemic that happened around 2014? Do you remember that?
It was not 2014. It was like 2009.
Somewhere around there.
Pretty sure it's 2009.
No, you're thinking about the market crash.
No.
I'm H1N1 2014. Pretty sure it was
2009. It's literally 2009. You're an idiot.
Look at that.
It's literally 2009.
I'm literally looking at it.
It's 2009. So you might. When did H1N1 start? Oh wow! April 2009 to August 2010. What a chunk today!
No.
Even know what the H1N1 is. He's trying to debate me about the coronavirus.
No.
This guy said 2014. Ebola was 2014.
Listen,
you fool.
He has no clue what he's talking about. Okay, according to the CDC, what flu viruses circulated this season in 2013 to 2014? This is on their website. This is a quote from their website. What flu virus circulated this season? Okay, during the 2013 to 2014 season, influenza A, H3N2, 2009 influenza A, H1N1. You're right that it was discovered in 2009
when the epidemic happened.
No. That what I'm talking about is I'm not talking about when the pandemic happened. I'm talking about when the major impact of it was. And here's what it says. Nearly 60% of the flu-associated hospitalizations reported to the CDC during this time, okay, were from the 2009 H1N1 virus, okay? The reason I'm bringing this up, H1N1, okay? Yes, it started in 2009, but what I'm saying is the major impact that we saw big impact in the 2013 to 2014. So what does that mean? The H1N1 is now with us essentially forever. It is now just another flu virus that will stay with us. That is the whole reason I'm bringing it up. What I'm saying is the coronavirus is here to stay. Okay. It has become another flu virus that we are going to get to enjoy and experience.
Okay.
So the point is
that we will get over it eventually, whenever that is, whenever it's more containable.
So why pull kids out of school?
I'm not done talking. You interrupting animal. My God.
Did we pull kids out of school for H1N1?
I'm sure some schools did.
The point is the H1N1 virus was more deadly at the time and is now less deadly. Why? Because we developed treatments for it. We developed ways of treating it. Okay? Why pull kids out of school, disrupt our economy for something that we literally did not do the same thing for H1N1, even though something like 65,000 people ended up dying from it in the United States?
What's your question? Sorry, I was just hearing mumbling and a bunch of crap.
Pull the cotton out of your ears. The point is...
Pull the cotton out of your
The point is,
mother.
All I'm saying is that what we are seeing right now is a complete overreaction of the virus. People are panicking when they should not be panicking. We're closing schools and shutting down NBA teams when we shouldn't be. Okay? We have not... If there is a point where we should be doing this, we have not reached it. The virus is not nearly... Number one, the virus is not nearly as deadly as people are making it out to be. And number two, people are clearly overreacting. Okay?
You've been talking for like 20 minutes trying to save your argument because I just completely been smacked this whole time.
Go ahead.
The reason why schools and other things are closing down is not because of how deadly the coronavirus is, but it's because of how easily it is spread, which is something you can just keep walking over and acting like doesn't exist. But it's not because how deadly something is why we close them down, because otherwise, we'd be closing down stuff because of cancer. Oh no, but cancer is really deadly. No, cancer doesn't spread. The coronavirus is very spreadable. It's very easy to get infected by it, which is you just keep forgetting about that.
The flu is also really easy to spread. Why aren't we closing down schools because of the flu?
Because we have we have hundreds of treatments of the flu. We don't have treatments for the coronavirus yet.
Why does that matter that we have treatments for the flu?
What do you mean? Why does that matter? Are you like a goofy or something?
Why does it matter?
Because we're able to fight it off.
Okay, but why does that matter that we're able to fight it off? Why is the fact...
Sick.
No. You said, because we don't stay sick. In other words, because it's not as deadly. You just said it doesn't matter how deadly the coronavirus is.
This guy is
you are contradicting yourself. You're saying
you're an absolute joke.
No, you just said we're not close. Hey, no. Stop saying we're a joke. You're violating... You're violating debate protocol.
That is dumb.
Pandas, we're going to have to take a song break really quick. Pandas continues. Listen,
Let's
Pandas.
Take a song break. We need a song break.
Listen. I just want to elaborate, and I'll give you a chance to I'll give you a chance to speak in a second. Listen.
Oh my God.
You can talk in a second, and then we'll take a song break. Just let me elaborate on this. Okay. You just said it doesn't matter how deadly the coronavirus is. You said
That's not what I said.
Can you let me talk, please?
No.
You just said we are closing schools because of how easy the virus spreads. But you're totally fine with us not closing schools because of the flu, even though the flu spreads just as easily. So, okay, seems a little inconsistent on your part. Go ahead.
Oh my God, Bad is so annoying today, guys. Am I right? Lordy. You know, Bad just keeps taking my words and just like taking them and something else. He always complains about me not letting him talk, but my God, I've said like 5 things and it's just completely triggered him. God, it's getting hot. Anyways, what did you say? Something about me being contradicting? No,
I think we also said song break, but
Do you need more time? Should we do a song break so we have more time for you to think? You're not answering any of the things I brought up.
What did you say? What was your
We'll just
question?
take a song break.
What did you bring up?
Go ahead, A60.
I just
You can talk once we get back.
the whole time.
No, you weren't listening, so we'll take a song break. I'll tell you what I said again while the song break is going on, and then when we get back,
That is so annoying today.
We'll be right back, guys. 60.
BTS and Sia, that song right now on the hit.
All right, we're back. Go ahead and take us away, Sapnap.
Want me to take you away? All right.
Go on.
Never heard someone say that to me before.
Go on.
I feel. All right, I'm sorry. Jeez.
Well, I'm giving you like 5 minutes to think. Go on.
I don't even remember what your questions was.
Oh my goodness, do you want another song break?
I just want you to tell me what was your point
Okay,
again.
I'll make it very simple. 2-part question. Question number 1 is the reason why we should cancel school because the coronavirus is deadly or not?
Is that the reason?
No, I'm asking you to find what you think about that based on what you said. I just want to clarify this. Do you think we should be closing schools because the coronavirus is deadly?
Oh my gosh. All right. You know, I didn't think I'd have to explain this, but the reason why we should be closing schools is because it is a combination of the both. While the coronavirus is more deadly than the regular flu, which makes it very scary to a lot of people, it's also extremely contagious. It's not one or the other like you seem to be thinking I'm saying. It's a combination of the both, which makes it very scary to a lot of people.
I'm sorry, I just misunderstood the part where you said, and I quote, we're not closing schools because the coronavirus is deadly, which is verbatim what you said.
Let me explain that. We're not closing the schools because only the coronavirus is only extremely deadly. We're closing schools because it is more deadlier than the flu, which is very scary to a lot of people, and it's contagious. I'm not saying we're closing schools because it's not deadly enough. Obviously, it's deadly enough where it's a cause of concern. But with the combination of it being extremely contagious, it's a very scary thing, which is why it's a pandemic right now, and everything's closing. Everything isn't closing for no reason, Bad. There's a reason why schools are actually closing right now.
And why is that?
I just said it. Because the coronavirus has a very scary combination of infection rate and deadliness.
Again, sorry, I was taking a bite. Okay, you did a good job explaining. Thank you. And I am saying that, one, the real question here is this, is does the action justify, does the risk justify the action that we're taking? Okay. Does the risk that the coronavirus presents really justify the damage that we're doing, right?
Yes.
We wouldn't advocate burning down all the buildings that had coronavirus in them, right, to stop the spread or anything like that, or killing people at the coronavirus to stop the spread. We'd obviously not.
If you had the coronavirus, I'd put you down.
We obviously wouldn't do that because we'd recognize that's an over extreme position. That is what I'm saying. I believe that going and closing schools is an extreme position because of the number of people who are getting infected, okay, the infection rate, the death rate, all of that being taken into account. The coronavirus, for the people who are going to be in most of the schools, which is going to be students, okay, it is not deadly enough to warrant keeping them home because most of them are going to get exposed to it through other methods anyway. The CDC is essentially saying that no matter what we do, pretty much everybody is going to get it. They estimate that over a third of Americans, just even with our best efforts, will get it. Okay? So
That's what they're estimating?
The estimates are that like 300,000 people are going to die. Okay?
Is that actually what they've estimated?
A little bit more than 300,000. It's like 340,000. Yeah, from it. In America.
Why is the media over exaggerating?
The media is over exaggerating it because most of the media doesn't want Trump, and they're trying to keep him from getting reelected. So making it look like a big situation is what they're trying to do. It's not to say that the coronavirus isn't serious. It is.
And so
but
listen,
is it serious enough that we should be closing schools?
Listen, what you're saying is that everyone's going to get it anyways. So because everyone's going to get it anyways, we'll just keep sending kids to school so they can just get it quicker and die faster, right? Whatever.
No. Don't send kids to school so that they die quicker.
I'm going to put my little kid's Velcro shoes on, put a lollipop in his mouth and say, go get your coronavirus.
No, most of the kids
have fun at school.
They're not going to die from it anyway. Okay? So it doesn't even matter. The people at risk are not the kids in school. It's their parents and the, whatever it's called, the elderly. And most of those people are going to get exposed to it, not from their kids. They're going to get exposed to it from another source. Because guess what? Most of those kids still have to go to work. Okay?
Yeah, most of those kids still have to go to work.
Or most of those parents, sorry. Most of those people still have to go to work. So they're going to work. They're interacting with other people who have the virus. And if anything, they're bringing it home to their kids. Okay? Mm-hmm. We can't just shut down the economy, right? Trump literally isn't going, hey guys, guess what? Nobody work. Everyone stay home. There are people who literally have to go in. Even if people are like, oh, just work from online, from home. Guess what? That is not feasible for a bunch of people. How's a McDonald's cashier supposed to work from home? Okay? They can't. So the point is,
I'm gonna get some McDonald's after this.
The point is, we will have people working and interacting, spreading the virus anyway. We're not helping our younger generation by saying, hey, you're just going to have to put your learning on pause. Just put your learning on pause and enjoy the extra year of schooling you're going to have to get when we end up just canceling all of the work you did. You really think they're going to tell kids, hey, you didn't go to school for 6 months, but we're just going to pass you on to the next grade anyway? No, they don't do that. They say, hey, guys, we're invalidating that grade. Everybody's going to do a repeat next year. That's what's going to happen. You're condemning students to more school time. You know what colleges have said? No, you know what colleges have said? They say, if we end up having to cancel classes due to the coronavirus, hashtag no refunds. So enjoy that, college students. If this meme continues, you're going to be out thousands and thousands of dollars. Anyway.
Are you done with your rant?
I think I pretty much defended my point. God.
Jeez. You don't defend your point by saying everyone's gonna get it anyways, so just keep going to school so you can get it quicker. You keep saying that. You know, your parents are gonna bring it home anyways. When it's like you're less likely to get exposed to it when you're at home, when you're coming in contact with 3 people, 4 people when you're at home, versus when you go to school and you're in contact with 100, 1,000 kids. You just completely keep glossing over that, and I don't understand why. Probably because you know you're wrong, but you know it's understandable. You know, just now on my phone, I got a little thing that Disneyland is getting closed, Broadway is getting closed, all these other places are getting closed. And you know, it's obviously a pretty big issue.
Weird.
So we're gonna keep going to school. We're gonna keep
entertainment. In my opinion, and I'd hope yours, entertainment does not have the same value as education.
No, that's not the point of me bringing that up. The point is showing you that all these places are closing.
Yeah, they're closing because they don't want to facilitate the spread, and they're also not
exactly. So they don't want to facilitate the spread. I mean,
we don't need Disneyland or Disney World. We don't need Broadway. What we need is to make sure the next generation is getting an education and that their lives aren't being put on pause for a virus that isn't going to put them at risk.
Their lives on pause than in their lives.
Then having them die, even though they're not going to die.
Exactly, because you are a child killer. It seems you want to send all these little.
How many kids under 10 have died so far? Pandas?
How many kids under 10 have died? Doesn't matter.
How many kids under 10 have died from the coronavirus? How many kids over 10 have died? Are you going to answer that question? Over 10 have died? The answer is a big fat zero. Okay.
How many kids?
The only kids who are the only kids who are at risk right now
from corona
are the only kids who are at risk right now.
And I hate that. Just because no kids under 10 haven't died yet, that big fat YET, because we're already taking these precautions, such as taking them home. How many schools? Most schools are closed. Or not most schools are closed right now, or going to be closed, or whatever. So it's because we're taking these precautions because we don't want any kids to die, because no kids have died, no kids under 10 have died yet.
Yeah,
if we don't take any precautions, then they will.
The people who should be staying at home are the students who are immunocompromised in any way.
Let's go to closing arguments. We've just done this back and forth for 30 minutes now.
You'd like it if we went into closing arguments.
Yeah, I'd like it if I could finally stop hearing you ramble on.
And so, again,
I've heard you say the same things for 30 minutes straight.
Yeah, and none of it is sinking into your brain.
Because all of it has been adequately defended.
No, it hasn't. Your whole shtick is the virus is super deadly. But then when I point out it's not deadly, you go, but it's super infectious.
No, and
we're protecting kids, even though they're not going to die from it.
Super infectious.
Anyway.
You do your closing argument. Or I'll do my closing argument. I'll start my closing argument, okay? This is my closing argument.
I love how people are saying, please stop Bad. Just let him defend finally.
Listen.
Have I not given him adequate chances?
We're doing closing arguments. Stop.
We're not doing closing arguments.
We're doing closing arguments.
No, we're not. You can close your arguments if you want. It's not closing arguments time.
Oh my God. Let's do closing arguments. A6D, should we do closing arguments now? We have 9 minutes left.
No.
Anyways, I'm going to do my closing argument. Guys, clearly, schools should be taking the precautions such as closing down due to the coronavirus. The coronavirus is a very scary virus that is extremely infectious, paired along with a higher deadliness rate than regular flu. Kids come in contact with hundreds and thousands of kids every day while they're at school, and due to the extreme infectious rate that the coronavirus presents, that we should take precautions such as keeping them home. To prevent them from taking a pause, quote unquote, from their education, we can provide these kids with online classes, take home work, whatever we need to keep them home while we can find a better way to combat the coronavirus and get them back to school, because obviously we don't want these kids away from school forever. I think it's important to understand and realize that keeping your kids home from school for 2 weeks, or maybe even a month if we have to, is much better than them all getting sick and getting, unhealthy due to the coronavirus. I think it's very clear that we should keep these kids home for maybe a week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever it takes, until we have a better way to combat the coronavirus and better ways to, keep them safe.
Thank you, Pandas. All right.
You're welcome.
Okay. Pandas' essential points.
And this is your closing argument. So you better.
Excuse me? I'm in the middle of talking. Can you be quiet?
But we agree this is your closing argument, yeah?
Are you going to be quiet so I can deliver my closing arguments?
Okay, yeah, go.
I didn't talk at all during yours.
Okay, I'm sorry, go.
You've already ruined my train of thought. Now be quiet. Okay. I can't wait for Pandas to go, which he always does whenever I deliver my closing arguments. He makes little noises. Mute your mic. Anyway, here we go. Here's the deal, okay? See what I'm talking about? This entire time, Pandas has been making this case of, we need to protect kids. We don't want them to die. Rather ruin their education than have them die. And the simple fact is, okay, A, the coronavirus is not that deadly to kids. If anything, and this is a point Panda missed completely, you wouldn't keep the kids out to protect them. You would keep the kids out to protect their grandparents and things like that, which he did not make that point at all. Another point that he keeps bringing up, we'll just have online school. Well, guess what? Online school is not going to work for a huge amount of people. Okay, let's go through it. Already colleges that are shutting down classes have been telling students that live in dormitories to go home. Okay, guess what? A lot of those students that live in those dormitories don't have a place to go. They don't have internet outside of their home. A lot of them are living in that dormitory because it's where they can stay. Okay, so us shutting down schools, us shutting down classes is turning off learning and access to knowledge and information for a bunch of students. We are going to be pushing a bunch of students back who won't have access to the internet, won't have access to a computer or an ability to get to online classes. And those are just the students who will have online classes. So what Pandas is advocating by saying we should just have all the students stay home is he's advocating for a bunch of students who don't have access to online classes or anything like that. Just say, forget you. Your life is on pause. You don't get to learn. Okay. And B, he's setting an unknown time limit where we'll have no idea how long it's going to be, a month, 2 months, 3 months, a year, where students will not be going to school. So even students that do have access to online classes are going to be put in a position where they're not going to be able to do every class online. And pretty soon the curriculums are going to back up and they're not going to be having a good time. And a lot of them are going to have to retake classes. They're going to have to retake years. They're going to find themselves in a situation where they are going to have to retake college, where they're not going to get refunds for classes. My point is, the virus is not that deadly. Okay, people are clearly overreacting from it, and everybody needs to just take a step back, chill out. Just, if we are going to send kids to school, have them wear masks. Everybody will be fine. Just stop freaking out. Okay, everybody's freaking out for no reason. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, we don't need to pull kids out of school.
All right, my last thing I'm going to say is bad. Number one. No one, it's really unlikely that, missing school for a week or a month is going to make you lose your education, or have to retake classes for a year and stuff like that. But let's say that is what it takes. It is better to be held back for a year than be dead or get your family member or bring home the sickness, have your grandparents die or whatever. It's very clearly, you're talking about this risk over.
Oh, didn't you read that from the chat?
It's better to just keep yourself safe now than regret it for the rest of your life.
Okay, since Pandas took more than a closing.
No. That was a very.
I'm just going to say, in that case, let's just shut down everything.
No.
That the logic you're stating is literally, let's just shut down everything and let the economy collapse completely.
Put the vote. You're just.
All right, guys.
Yapping.
Here we go. We're going to shut down the economy completely because Pandas wants us to. Here we go, guys. Go to Twitter. And I'm going to post and reply to the latest poll. Go ahead and vote. Remember, guys, vote for who you thought defended their argument the best. That's what the question always is. Okay, it's always vote for who you thought defended their point the best. I think I might have the coronavirus. Not who you like the most. Okay, always vote that way.
I like the most.
Here, let me restate it. So you're gonna vote who won, me or Sapnap. Vote for the person you thought defended their argument the best, not who you happen to like personally the most. Hey, here we go. I'm gonna post it in a reply to the current tweet. Everybody go ahead and vote. Oh, that's not work. Vote who won at TW Sapnap or BadBoyHalo. Remember to vote for who defended their point the best, not who you like the most. That's just to stop people from being all like, oh, I like BadBoyHalo more, I'm voting for him. Or, oh, I like Sapnap more, I'm voting for him.
Well,
and then Ty. Go vote, everybody.
Go vote on Twitter at Saints of Games or on Twitch. You can just do /vote1, vote 2, or vote 3. The poll is shown just right here, somewhere around here. So yeah, just go vote right now. That's Charlie XCX. Break the rules right now on your favorite music.
Hey, everybody.
Thanks for the victory, guys.
We are back.
Thank you.
Let's check the poll.
I just want to say that you're saying thanks for the victory, but I see BBH first on Twitch, and I see like exactly the same amount on Twitter. Like literally, I see 34.4.
Matter. I'm ahead on the Twitch. Wait, I can't tell.
No, you're not ahead on the Twitch.
Anyway, I'll give you $1.
Anyway, this one looks pretty much.
For me, it's a tie.
A tie. It's with the 10.2% saying tie, and us being close enough within the margin of error. I'm fine with calling this a tie, even though I did win the Twitch poll.
Like literally, it's so close. 34.4.
This is a good debate, Sapnap.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go ahead and call it a tie.
Okay. I think maybe if I didn't fall asleep halfway through because you were making me bored, I would have won.
Okay. But anyway, so I'll go ahead now that we have ended the debate. I give my real position. My real position is we should close schools.
Wait, I won by a whole 1%. That's a victory.
But
I won by a whole %.
Where?
Look.
That's not a victory. Tie is 10%.
I won by a whole %.
It's not even the poll is not even done. What are you talking about? The poll is still not even done.
Well, look, I'm almost 2% over now.
No, for me it's still bad. 1% over.
No. Look at the guys I sent you. I won by it.
Bad one on the Twitter poll. I'm sorry, but now it's the final results.
Because Pandas is being such a muffin, and we called it a tie, and now he's trying to steal the victory. I'm content to take the victory.
Refresh the poll. It's the final results. The final results don't change anymore.
Sapnap, I was totally fine with calling it a tie, but if you want to play the 1% game, I'll take the win, I guess.
It's fine. It's a tie, whatever.
Too late.
It's a tie. No.
Victory for me! Little muffin! No, I'm not going to give you the win now. No, you don't get it. No, you're not taking the win now.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. It's a tie. No,
I'm sorry, but it's no longer a tie. Now that you were like this, it's no longer a tie. I'm sorry, but
it's a tie.
Can you believe this, guys?
It's a tie.
No.
The tie percentage went up. It's a tie. It's a tie.
No.
It's a tie. It's a tie.
Anyway, all right.
GG.
Good job.
Saints of Games.
I'm still fine with calling it a tie, you fatty.
Good.
Anyway, all right. So that was fun. Anyway, guys, so I think the best response is a combination of both practices. I think in places where the coronavirus is heavy and they are trying to, combat the spread, I think if we can be reasonably sure that the virus will let up a bit during the summer as far as spread and things like that, and maybe we'll have better treatments for it, I think putting a little bit of a time delay is probably smart. But we also do have to face the reality of if the virus doesn't let up, we can't keep kids out of school forever. So I think the right answer to this debate is somewhere in the middle. If there's an answer at all, there may not be a right answer. So I don't know. But thank you. Remember, guys, anything we said during this debate is not necessarily our actual position. Okay. And this is just for fun. Stay safe. Make sure you're washing your hands. Remember, guys, if you don't wash your hands, we're going to cut your hands off. So wash your hands. Don't.
Bro, that sounded like the clickbait beginning of YouTube videos. Wash your hands or we'll cut them.
Slice the hands off. But wash your hands. Don't touch other people's faces or their eyes or mouths, etc. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, drink water, get vitamin C. Just be smart, do your part, and etc.
I just got something like about Sapnap. What he said in the chat: vote for me for free cookies, vote for me to not go to school for a month.
Wow, Sapnap.
I don't think that changed
You're
anything.
such a muffin. You want no time for you fat. You're such a salty. It's amazing how salty you get. Anyway, shake my head. Anyway, just be safe out there, guys. Remember the Good point. Only hand sanitizer with a alcohol or ethanol percentage over 60% is effective. I think I saw somewhere out there that maybe 40. I can't remember. But just remember,
his only messages are only vote for me.
don't be dumb. Be careful. And yeah, this was a fun debate. I enjoyed that. So thank you guys. All right. Anything? Oh yeah, Pandas. Do you want to promote anything before you try and steal the win in the next debate?
Everyone, we're gonna do the same thing. Everyone, go follow me on Twitter at TW Sapnap, and then go ahead and follow me or subscribe to me on YouTube, just Sapnap.
Okay. Go check out Sapnap stuff. Follow me on Twitter at Saints Games, and just remember, guys, coronavirus is not as bad as people are making it seem. Just try and chillax. Don't panic. Okay, things will happen.
Did you say panic?
Half of us were gonna get it.
Don't panic. Don't panic. No. The point is, like, just try not to panic. Just make smart decisions. Make them calmly. Panicking doesn't help anyone. Okay. Don't go to the store and fight people to death over toilet paper. Okay?
I'll fight them to death over toilet paper.
No, that's the opposite.
Oh my god.
Anyway, all right, bye everyone.
Anyways, thanks.
Take us away.
Yep. Anyways, thanks for listening. Don't forget that you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. That's at OnlyHitUS. We also have a website, OnlyHit.us. It's a whole radio station, so of course it's on 24/7. We don't only have the talk show, so stay tuned if you want some good music, and there's a good community on the Twitch. Right now, it's Cindy Scott with a lot of hits, and the podcast, you can find it on Apple Podcast, iTunes, Deezer, Spotify, iHeart, the YouTube channel, OnlyHitUS. And that's pretty much it. Goodbye. Everyone say bye.
Bye.
Bye.